Hey guys, the Podfather here, yet another podcast with other interruptions. I'm terribly sorry, but we do a recap of WWE Super Showdown that took place earlier today, and a full preview of AEW Revolution. It's a great listen, you don't want to miss it.
Bulletcast for life. Get on! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind!
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case if you don't, I am a 24-year-old piece of gold, the messiah of the microphone, and the greatest sports and recreational podcast in the world today, the Podfather. And yes, I am still your reigning, defending Bulletcast champion. Kyle O'Reilly doesn't have a championship anymore, but I'll play it like a guitar for him, because just like Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Whitey Strong, and Adam Cole, baby, this title reign is hashtag forever undisputed. For life, brother. But ladies and gentlemen, you know I never do this alone. He's my tag team partner, the Jimmy to my J, the Tully to my Arn, the Stevie Ray to my Booker T. He's the host of the award-winning Under the Radar, host and creator of Curveballs and Chair Shots, and the first ever Bulletcast champion. Ladies and gentlemen, you never forget your first. The Canadian Destroyer, BT Brandon Tan Guma. BT, how you doing today on this fine Thursday afternoon?
You know, Phillip, I'm doing just fine, sitting here talking to you, watching Blood Money 5.
Yes, Blood Money 5 is live in full effect, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to be doing a recap of SmackDown. We're just going to jump right into Blood Money since it's on. Because everything that happened on SmackDown, I really don't even care about.
And look at that, the Big Dog beats King Corbin. Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Look at him. Look at your boy. Big Dog. And we're not even going to go over Raw, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to keep it with Blood Money, our thoughts of where WrestleMania is going to end up. Wow, not even a spear, just a Superman punch. Just a Superman punch with the chain beats King Corbin. That's amazing. Alright, so here we go. First up, we had the OC defeat the Viking War Radio Experience. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even see this match. Was it good, Brandon? Do you know?
Oh, it was just a barn burner. You could see it at your local house show because that's pretty much what it was.
I take you didn't actually watch the match either.
Wow, so little faith in me, Phillip.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, pal. You know? Alright, well, next up after that, we did have the Kuwait Trophy. R-Truth, I think he beat like two other people, and then AJ Styles comes out there, and he beats R-Truth, and then, you know, Styles is pandering that he's going to win it, and then all of a sudden, Gallows and Anderson are laying on the floor backstage, and a tall man in black and a black leather coat emerges above them. The lights go off, the gong hits, and yes, the Phenom, The Undertaker, makes his way down to the ring in Saudi Arabia, got some blood money for it. He hits a choke slam, it looked decent, and he walks away with the Kuwait Trophy. The Undertaker, one of the most prestigious accomplishments in Saudi Arabia. Thoughts on the dead man? Well,
Shout out to R-Truth for winning 2 matches in one day. That might be a new record for him. But Rey Mysterio was supposed to come out. He didn't come out. And then because The Undertaker is The Undertaker, I guess he's okay to just replace Rey Mysterio, even though there was no official word and what the hell was going on. And then Undertaker just comes down, chokeslam him, and I would like to dispute that it was an okay-looking chokeslam. It looked kind of bad. I mean, AJ slipped, and he kind of had to be held up by the Undertaker's other hand. But anyways, I digress.
You know, AJ was out there working. It got a little slippery, you know?
He only had one match, and it was like 3 minutes.
You can work up a nice sweat in 3 minutes, Brandon. When I'm on the elliptical, I'm working out a nice sweat in like 30 seconds. I'm telling you, man. You know?
Anyways, we thought that this was going to be the match at WrestleMania, Undertaker versus AJ Styles. They can still go there, but I just don't know why you would start the feud off with Undertaker beating AJ in 30 seconds. As I said, after AJ was pretty fresh. I mean, yes, he had like a match, but it was only like a couple minutes against R-Truth, who was already had a few matches under his belt. So what's the point of AJ trying to goat Undertaker into wrestling him at WrestleMania when he's already beaten him for the most prestigious trophy in all of professional wrestling?
Because it's in Saudi Arabia and it doesn't matter.
but it's the most prestigious trophy in all of the land, according to Michael Cole.
You know what, dude? In Saudi Arabia land, like, Jesus, guys, like, come on. Like, why do we keep doing these Saudi shows? I know they're getting blood money and all this other stuff, but seriously, like, a lot of meaningless-ish happens at these Saudi shows. Just gonna be honest here. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Nothing? Are you not gonna dispute this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll talk about Taker and Styles if there's any more formation with what's going on here, as in R-Truth 24 documentary is going to happen immediately after Super Showdown. I can't wait for that. I'm excited about that, actually. I really am. Alright, we have The Miz and John Morrison defeat Kofi Kingston and Big E. They defeat the New Day, and we have new tag team champions, Miz and Morrison winning tag team titles together for the first time in damn near a decade.
Out of all the title matches that were on the line here, this one was kind of the one that I thought it could happen, and it did happen. It was a good match. We've seen New Day be champions so many times before, so I understand why they would go to Miz and Morrison to get the win here, and I don't know where you go from here. Is it just going to build to a WrestleMania? Every tag team in the division has a match, and they all wrestle in a gauntlet match or something? I don't know, but I understand getting the titles on Miz and Morrison, something new, something different. And who knows what they're going to do with New Day, but it was fine.
It was fun. As we see a recap of earlier tonight, the OC beating up Rey Mysterio. Wow. Look at poor Rey. And then Carl Anderson and Gallows are on the ground. And then, yes, the recap is playing of The Undertaker emerging. Oh, what a sight. What a sight for sore eyes. Look at that trench coat, man. I love it. I love everything about it. Yeah, so the tag team match, it was fine. It was decent. Got the job done. Kofi taking a hell of a bump. Missing the trust fall on Miz. Jesus Christ, man. Hope Kofi's alright.
I think the blood money will pad his fall.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Angel Garza, he defeats Humberto Carrillo. Honestly, good for Angel. Oh, yeah, that chokeslam is not pretty. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so this happened. Nobody got hurt. That's all we can ask for.
It was a match. Nobody did not get hurt, and that's all we can ask for. It was not as good as the match on Raw, which apparently we're not going to talk about, but that match was absolutely fantastic.
The match was absolutely fantastic. There, we talked about it. We did it. We did it here.
Oh my God, there's Naomi breaking barriers in Saudi Arabia. Such a beautiful moment for women all across the world.
Really? Oh my God, look at this rave.
Oh my God, she was wearing a t-shirt because we can't see the outline of a woman's boobs, or else our heads will explode.
You know, I saw a comment on a Facebook post, and this really got me thinking. I think the comment was like, let's say there's a transgender wrestler wrestling in Saudi Arabia that goes from female to male, and they wrestle with their shirt off. Are they disgracing the beliefs or something like that? And I was like, wow, that's actually very interesting. Brandon, what are your thoughts on that?
No, they would just get murdered.
That's most likely what would happen. That's most likely what would happen. Naomi got too much cake to be hiding any shape. I'm sorry. Too much cake to hide any shape. You feels me? Jesus, this is a very long show. Alright, Seth Rollins and his buddy Murphy defeat the Street Profits to retain the Raw Tag Team Championships. And hey, we got a fan mail about that. Let me go to the bag. Let me go to the fan mail bag here. Where is it at? Here we go. Hootie Hoo 420.
Hootie Hoo.
Now I'm probably not going to send this to the radio, so I'm just going to read this email for what it says, Brandon.
Let us have it.
Are you kidding me? No Seth Rollins Jesus graphic on his Titantron, man. What the bloody hell? Fuck Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
That's your boy, dude. That's your boy. And I did notice that, you know, like Oh, it says regular Tron. Oh, wait, they're in Saudi Arabia. They can't do that. Oh, damn. Bailey got a little cake, too, to be hiding some shape. Oh, man. You know, I didn't realize how good Bailey looked until she turned heel. To be honest. Shout out, Bailey. Do your thing, boo-boo.
Phillip, it's 2020. We don't objectify women athletes on this show.
Not objectifying, just showing gratitude to the beauty of Bailey and Naomi. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm doing here. So, what are your thoughts on Rollins and his buddy Murphy defeating the Street Profits? I didn't realize how big Angelo Dawkins was. That's a big boy.
That's a thick ass boy.
Whoa, are you objectifying men on this show, Brandon?
Maybe. It's damn time that men get objectified for once. Instead of women.
So, thoughts on the match?
It was good. I don't know what they're going to do with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Is he going to be in a tag team title match? Is he going to be singles against Kevin Owens? Who knows? So I thought maybe you can get the title off of him here. But I think they're going to wait till maybe a Elimination Chamber, maybe a match on Raw to get the titles off of him. And I think Street Profits are the best option right now because as we saw the Viking War Raider experience in the pre-show, they lost. So they're not going to really be built up to anything, I think, at Elimination Chamber. So who knows? But the match was alright.
The match was alright. This referee of this match looks like Too Cold Scorpio. Did he fall off that bad and he's refereeing now?
Doesn't Bailey have like a regular shirt that she can wear? Like it looks like they just grabbed a random blue shirt and just stuck on her logo. Like does she not have a WWE shop shirt that she can wear?
I'm pretty sure she does. It's like gold or black or something, which would have looked much better with this attire. Now Naomi with the lime green shirt, I understand that because you know that's one of the colors that goes on through her Tron and her entrance. That's fine. But come on, guys, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You just got a shirt from Sheamus and just threw it on Bailey and our logo? Come on, guys. I don't like this.
Like, if Naomi was just wearing that big old one piece without the shirt, I would still be like, okay, it's kind of stupid, but it wouldn't be as stupid. I think the t-shirt just kind of makes it that much worse.
Yeah, it does. This is not good. Oh, homie rocking AirPods in the crowd. I see him.
Because out there in Saudi Arabia, they don't hear broke.
Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Alright, you can't say that in Saudi Arabia either. Mansoor defeats Dolph Ziggler. Do we only see this guy at these Saudi Arabia shows? We only see him like every 3 to 4 months?
He did do the kickoff show for NXT TakeOver, and he has been on NXT every now and then, but yes, I don't understand why he's not more of a focus on NXT if he's going to be on these Blood Money shows. He's a good wrestler, so I don't know why they haven't really found a spot for him. If you can put him in the Cruiserweight division, I think that's a decent spot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm going to be honest with you people. I'm just not a fan. Beat my boy Dolph. Dolph deserves better. Push Dolph Ziggler. Give him another championship run. I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
You know, Phillip, at that spot in the corner, Naomi would have like shook her butt and like stuck her Bailey's face in it, but they're in Saudi Arabia. They can't be doing that.
They can't be doing that.
I wonder if we're going to see the rear view.
Oh, that's
probably not.
That's too provocative. You know, women just got the right to drive in Saudi Arabia. We don't want to retract laws by having provocative moves in wrestling matches, Brandon. Because that might just happen. That split leg pin is the most provocative thing we're going to see in this match.
Anyways, Phillip, how did that Brock Lesnar Ricochet match go?
Oh, Ricochet ran at him, got swatted away, got a couple suplexes and an F5, and that was it. I'm not
pretty much what we thought was going to happen.
No. I'm not complaining about it because, like, if this was happened in America, he would have got 8 minutes like Finn did at the Rumble a couple years ago, and it would have been pretty damn good. But because it's in Saudi Arabia, hey, you're getting a WWE Championship match, but it's only going to be like 20 seconds. You know? So, yeah. Oh, a leg drop. A la the Hulkster.
I am very high on Ricochet. I think he can be so much more in WWE. I don't understand why they don't use him like they did even in NXT. I mean, even in NXT, I think they might have underutilized him a little bit as well. But Ricochet, unfortunately, he wasn't built up very credible to face Brock Lesnar in this match, so it made a sense for why he just kind of got the squash treatment. And it makes a bigger deal when, oh look, I have an alarm go off. I have the alarm that goes off to make sure I wake up and that I am ready in time to do the podcast. Normally at 12 o'clock, but we did a little earlier today. So, anyways, the bullet cast. Gotta stay ready. Anyways,
The bullet alarm. I like it.
The bullet alarm, yes. Nobody got hurt, that's all we can ask for, and now we're on the current to WrestleMania, or the river of WrestleMania, with Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre.
Whichever one. Oh, nice corkscrew plancha by Naomi to the outside on Bayley. We're not going to go over Big Dog and Baron Corbin because we talked about that as soon as we started recording. We're just going to go into our usual outside of the ring. I kind of keep you updated what's happening in our live coverage of Blood Money in the Sand 5. Bayley holding Naomi's head and leg at the same time. That was interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that. Probably maybe in a catch suplex. And then Naomi gets knocked down to the floor as Bayley goes back to the outside to retrieve her opponent to retain her championship. This is good action, man. Despite, all the laws and everything that's happening in Saudi Arabia, Bayley's doing a very good job. No? She's not doing a good job, Brandon?
She's doing okay.
I thought that was your girl, bro. I thought that was your girl.
She's doing okay.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've never been able to look. We've never been able to. No, wait. How did it go? Jesus, I've butchered this.
You can look, but you can't touch. Come on, Phillip.
Look, these Saudi Arabia laws have really just butchered my thought process for today. The Bella Twins are going into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2020. Hey, man, what a career! What a career! If we really look back at it, I mean, Nikki Bella broke up with John Cena, engaged, pregnant, Hall of Fame. Wow.
Yeah, good thing she dumped that loser.
Wow. Now, if we look at the Bella's career trajectory here, I have a little list. I'm gonna read off to you. Nikki Bella's best matches. She had a false count anywhere match with Natalya. Her and Paige had a match on Main Event back in the day. Her and Ronda Rousey at Evolution. Paige at Money in the Bank. I forget what year that was. The Bella Twins versus AJ Lee versus Paige. WrestleMania 31. Brandon, you were in attendance for that. And then Nikki Bella versus Charlotte on Raw. And then a few days later at Hell in a Cell in 2015. Now, Brie's best matches consist of the 10 Diva tag match, Brie's retirement. We have Brie versus Stephanie McMahon at SummerSlam. We have Brie versus Charlotte versus Sasha Battleground. I think that was 2015, 2016. And then we have Brie versus Charlotte at WWE Fastlane. And Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella Hell in the Cell 2014, which I was in attendance for. So Brandon, what are your thoughts on the career trajectory of the Bella Twins from the Diva search to the Hall of Fame?
It's the WWE Hall of Fame. I don't have high regards for it. The Bella Twins are, I don't know if I would say deserving, but you can put them in there. They had a long enough career. They are very memorable. They're one of the biggest names in the women's division in the past, 20 years. Like maybe the biggest name since Trish and Lita, to be honest. Or maybe even bigger than Trish and Lita, like bigger since Sable and Sunny. But if it was a regular, Meltzer Hall of Fame, I probably would say no, just because their matches and everything wasn't that great, to be honest. But it's the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm not going to get too worked up about it.
Hold on. Nikki Bella got very good at the end. Watch the end of the run, like 2015. She got very good at the end. The match with Ronda and Evolution was good. Brie, she was decent in the ring. She had a Divas title run or whatever. But I'm not going to talk about the Meltzer Hall of Fame. That's not a real Hall of Fame. Don't give a damn about Dave Meltzer on this show. My whole point is, I don't have a problem with the Bellas going into the Hall of Fame, but let's wait a couple years. Let's make us miss them. They've done a lot, man. Total Divas, and then now they have Total Bellas, and the Bellas are like the only girls, the only Divas women who never did Playboy, never did any nude photo shoots. They did it on their own. They made a name for themselves, and I really like that. I really appreciate that. So congrats to the Bella Twins going into the Hall of Fame. I know the internet wrestling community is probably going crazy about it. I haven't really heard or seen any negative responses to this, but kudos to them, man. Kudos to them.
I think we're starting to see the Hall of Fame not have that many people that are very deserving or, big enough names, so they're just kind of throwing in anybody they can really think of. I mean, we have the NWO. I mean, look, X-Pac has been in the Hall of Fame back-to-back years. I mean, let's be honest here. We got
that's
NWO,
that's
DX.
another thing. That's another thing I want to talk about. The whole two-time Hall of Famers thing. When Rick did it 2012, when he went in with the Horsemen, went in by himself in 08, that was cool. Okay, this never been done before, and it lasted for about like 6 or 7 years, and then now we're just having all these two-time Hall of Famers. Guys, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Does this happen in other Hall of Fames, Brandon?
I mean, I think teams can be put in the Hall of Fame. Well, I don't know if teams, but let's just say no.
Okay, let's say Michael Jordan's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, right? I would assume yes. Yes.
No, he didn't make the requirements. He's trash.
Oh, okay. I don't like the sarcasm. He's in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so would the 96, 97 Bulls go in the Hall of Fame too? But then he's a two-time Hall of Famer. Is that how this works? What are we doing, guys? The only two-time Hall of Famer I know of outside of wrestling is Michael Jackson. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. His singles career and then with the Jacksons. That's all I know of. I think James Brown's in there twice too. His singles career and then the Famous Flames from back in the day before he went off and told us it feels good, yada 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 yada, so good, We gotta stop all these two-time Hall of Famers, and then they're gonna be three-time Hall of Famers. And what the hell are we doing, man?
Triple H is going to be a 16-time Hall of Famer.
Dude, DX himself, Evolution, The Authority, Jean-Paul Levesque, Terrorizing, all of his gimmicks are going in the Hall of Fame, dude.
NXT Triple H, happy-go-lucky Triple H. All of his 20,000 characters are going to go in individually.
I know Booker T is going to go in for a third time when G.I. Bro gets in there. G.I. Bro just had a match in Reality of Wrestling, by the way, and it was decent. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. As Naomi evades Bayley for a quick second in the corner, but Bayley double knees to Naomi's face. Yep. We did a long spiel on the Hall of Fame, Brandon. Did a very long spiel about it. I didn't know you were so passionate.
Yeah, I'm the one who's passionate about it.
Yes, you are. Samoa Joe is suspended. Brandon, you talk about this on Under the Radar. Give us the general synopsis of what happened.
Well, there isn't really much to talk about. Samoa Joe being suspended 30 days via the wellness policy violation effective on a Monday. Don't know what happened. We had news that he got injured during a commercial shoot. I would assume that would be legit, and I don't know exactly. We don't exactly know what happened. We don't really know what happened with Andrade either. So some of these things don't come out for now. Maybe later on down the line we'll find out. But unfortunately, Samoa Joe will be there back in time for WrestleMania, but not really back in time for the build to WrestleMania. So maybe he'll just get thrown into a Andre Battle Royal as a surprise or something.
What the hell was that finish, bro? Bayley sticks Naomi's. See, this is where these large T-shirts can be a nuisance, if you will. She just sticks her foot behind her, and then she does some kind of reverse playmaker face buster and gets the win. Is that her new finish?
It's a new Saudi Arabian finish.
What are we calling that, Brandon?
The Saudi Arabian Destroyer?
Oh, I think the whole government's the Saudi Arabian Destroyer. Hey-o. Alright, Samoa Joe, the guy's, 38, 39, he's not getting any younger. Let's just, I don't know, put the title on him at least? Something.
I thought you said you were all alone, Phillip.
I was all alone. Now there's just a lot of noise in the background for no reason at all whatsoever. Yeah. All right, yeah. So put the title on Samoa Joe. He's not getting any younger. Like Shinsuke just turned 40. What the hell are we doing with Shinsuke Nakamura?
I've been saying that for a long time.
I don't know, man. I don't know. WWE pay-per-views could be going to ESPN Plus. I don't know the extent of this. I'm not gonna lie. I threw this on there last week and forgot about it.
So you're just going to throw it on the script and then not talk about it?
I threw it on there last week and completely forgot about it. I read the article and forgot what it said. It's a possibility to be moving. I think it was like WrestleMania over there. I know that there were talks of Fox going over to WrestleMania going over to Fox or whatever. But yeah, man. So this is what I saw. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Give it that real sports feel. I guess they're trying to go for.
I thought Fox on SmackDown was supposed to give us a real sports feel, and yet we got a dog food match.
That happens in real sports, does it not?
Not that I not any sports that I watch.
Yeah, I don't think you're watching the right sports, Brandon. Yeah,
I don't think those are called sports, Phillip. I think those are called fetish films.
Oh, Jesus. Lance Archer is all elite, the former IWGP United States champion. He's with AEW now. Honestly, I don't really care.
Yes, he is with AEW, and I am very excited because I thought Lance Archer had a stellar G1 climax last year. Really made a name for himself. He was pretty much just a tag team wrestler, and I thought he did very well with AEW being a small man's territory, one might say. I think he's definitely going to stand out. We're still waiting on Brody Lee or Luke Harper to possibly join All Elite Wrestling. So with Lance Archer being All Elite, I think that it's going to be a nice little dynamic. I don't know what he's going to be. I think he's going to be a heel. And him versus somebody, I don't really know. I haven't really thought about any matches thus far, but I think any babyface lined up against him should be a fun match.
It should. Him and Moxley rekindle their little rivalry they had going off in Japan, eh?
Quite possibly. His first match will be next week on AEW Dynamite.
Wow, Dynamite! What the hell? I think we'll talk about that once we get to AEW. Joe Bailey, he's with the New Japan Dojo, the son of William Regal. He's carrying on the lineage, man.
Good for him.
Wow.
William Regal couldn't get him a job at NXT?
I don't think he has that much pull, even though he's the general manager. Everything still goes through Papa Trips.
I feel it.
Carl Fredericks versus Kenta. Brandon, you're the New Japan guy. Tell us when this is happening and what's it for.
Well, Philip, I was excited to see this match because it was going to be in the first round of the New Japan Cup, along with the anniversary show for New Japan that was coming up next week. But the coronavirus happened, and so now there's going to be no New Japan shows next week, and we don't know when they're going to happen.
Wow. I was excited for this, man. I told Carl, go get him. This is great. I'm happy. I'm really excited for him. He said thank you so much. But this isn't happening. All because of that damn coronavirus.
Or Corona.
Corona, whatever. I finally got that Kathy Kelly reference you said last week of the show. I didn't realize she was leaving WWE. Good luck in all your future endeavors.
That means you don't follow Kathy Kelly on social media, Philip. You need to.
I do, but like I like her.
Oh, you just look at the photos. You don't actually read the captions. I feel it.
No. Her feed came in like a couple days after we recorded. I'm like, oh, this is what he was talking about. Yeah.
Big Kathy Kelly fan over here.
As I'm watching a replay of this Undertaker AJ Styles chokeslam. Yep. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is the main event of Super Showdown: The Fiend versus Bill Goldberg, which I don't know what's gonna happen. How upset would you be if The Fiend loses, Brandon?
Not very. If you list him under the radar, I speculate maybe Goldberg could win. and set up a match with Roman Reigns or somebody. But I'm not completely against the idea of Goldberg winning.
You're not completely against it?
I don't really know what you do with the Fiend at this point. He's, I don't know if I'd say stale, but it's very repetitive.
It is very repetitive. It was great. It was great for a while. It really was. As Bill Goldberg is making his way out of his dressing room, accompanied by his Saudi Arabian security. Did I see a black guy? Is that a black guy back there, or am I tripping? Is that guy behind his right arm? Is that guy black, Brandon? Just not gonna answer me.
Sure, Phillip, he's black.
Wow. I need definite yes or no. That's
well,
cool.
You do know Saudi Arabia is kind of close to Africa, Phillip.
I mean, I'm aware of all of it. I'm aware of all of it. This day in wrestling, No Way Out 2000, Mick Foley's career ended yet again because of Triple H. It happened. That's all we can ask for. I guess. I don't know. I've never even seen this show. It was 20 years ago today.
Well, then this is the perfect opportunity to go watch it after the stellar match between Goldberg and The Fiend.
Absolutely. Raw 2017, Samoa Joe defeats Antonio Cesaro.
He was still Antonio Cesaro at that point? He wasn't...
No.
He didn't get the choppy?
No, I just wanted to call him Antonio Cesaro. That's all I really wanted to do. Alright, let's go to our fan mail segments. Alfie Lewis. Keep one and erase the other from history completely. Mick Foley or Triple H? Oh, wow. Brandon?
That is a very interesting question. To keep one and erase the other one. I think the more interesting one would be to keep Mick Foley and erase Triple H, because not only he had a stellar career in the ring, but then outside the ring he ends up marrying Stephanie, and he's the heir apparent to WWE. And if that never happened, if Triple H, let alone Triple H, never married Stephanie, if he was never even in the company or ever existed, I would really want to know what would have happened, or what we would be in right now if Triple H never existed.
That's a possibility, man. Like, we wouldn't have NXT. We wouldn't be getting these unbelievable wrestling highs every couple of months with takeovers, and being so invested in Gargano and Ciampa, and cheering the Undisputed Era, even though we should be booing them because they're bad guys, and having the Prince reemerge in NXT. All this stuff wouldn't happen if we didn't have Big Papa Trips.
Maybe Mick Foley would have married Stephanie McMahon, and he's the heir apparent.
Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon. That's an interesting one, man.
But he already has a supermodel wife, so I think Mick Foley's doing good.
And a supermodel daughter. Hey-o. Alright, Jack of all trades. Guys, thoughts on the Evolution episode of the Ruthless Aggression era on the WWE Network? I loved it, and I loved Evolution when they first burst on the scene, much like the Horsemen, but they fit in their own time. Yeah, man, I recently watched that as I'm being yelled at. I don't know what's happening. I watched that episode, and it was really good, man. I enjoyed it. Evolution is one of my favorite faction of all time. You know, it was the past of Ric Flair mentoring Triple H as he's really coming to his own as the top dog in the business, not just WWE, but in the business. And then they get these young bucks. I get it, what I did there, young bucks, and Randy Orton and a Dave Batista. That's the evolution of the business right there, and I loved everything about that. Brandon, have you seen this episode of Ruthless Aggression, and what were your thoughts on Evolution as a whole?
It was a great episode, and it was very informative, and I definitely watched this.
You didn't watch this. You didn't. We're supposed to have detailed conversations on this show, Brandon.
Hey, I watch the product. I don't watch the documentaries and stuff, okay? I lived it. I don't need to watch it.
Wow. So what are your thoughts on Evolution as a whole?
I like Evolution. I think maybe a tad overrated, to be honest. But it was a part of my early childhood memories watching wrestling for the first time. And there's the Reign of Terror, which is not a very good thing. It also had the breakup with Batista, which I thought was a very good thing. And Randy Orton, I think they rushed his rise to success, but they had the whole Brock Lesnar thing happen, so they wanted to, make him the new young rising star. But overall, Evolution, good faction. Maybe not as historic as DX, but it's fine. They're fine.
With this whole like Evolution was great. I loved it. You get really detailed into Randy Orton being an arrogant ass, making an ass of himself.
I don't need to watch the documentary to know that.
I mean, no, but you get into the whole reason why Mark Jindrak didn't stick with Evolution. You get into that stuff, when Batista suffering all these injuries, being sidelined, but finally making his return and joining the group, and all of them having the gold, and Randy going off and becoming the Legend Killer and wrestling Taker at WrestleMania 21, and Batista winning the Royal Rumble and going on to dethrone Triple H's quote-unquote reign of terror. Which, by the way, let me tell you this. It wasn't a reign of terror. It was great. I loved everything about it. The same people that complain and bitch and moan about the reign of terror praise him for NXT. You can't have both. You either don't like him because of that, or you love him because of NXT. You can't have both. You can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. You can't have the best of both worlds of professional wrestling, Brandon. You can't. I know. If I got what I want, Dolph Ziggler would be the world champion right now. Yeah. If I got what I want, Kenny Omega wouldn't even be a wrestler. Neither would Matt Riddle. If I got what I want, Eric Rowan and No Way Jose wouldn't have jobs. Yeah.
Feel better now?
Not until Kenny Omega is done with professional wrestling. That's when I'll finally be at peace with my life. Him and Matt Riddle are out of the business, so I can truly enjoy this unbelievable art form that is professional wrestling. Yeah. As The Fiend makes his entrance in Saudi Arabia, severed head, lamp, and all. Ooh, I bet the Prince of Saudi Arabia likes that one. Yeah, I went there. Alright, as we move on with the fan mail questions, Dan, guys, honest thoughts on weigh-ins in professional wrestling. My friend thinks it's pointless, even though I really like the real sports element of it. Weigh-ins in wrestling are very important. You need to know who is the heavier opponent, so we can see, oh man, they have a slight pound advantage over this guy, but this guy has more experience, so he could possibly do the upset. I think it's very important.
I don't really have a strong opinion one way or another on the weigh-ins. It's the heavyweight division. In heavyweights in boxing, you don't need to make weight. You kind of need to make weight. You just can't be above a certain amount of weight. So it makes sense. You weigh in. And in wrestling, obviously, there's really no weight limit. So you can really get the understanding of how big they are. But I mean, it was a different sort of atmosphere, I would guess, for the AEW thing. So it was different, which I did enjoy. It's a different take on the contract signing, which we've seen so many times. So I'm okay with the weigh-in because it's different than a contract signing, even though it all ended up in the same thing.
Absolutely. We'll talk about it once we get to AEW. Hootie Hoo 420 again.
Hootie Hoo.
Phillip, in what aspect of podcasting is Brandon better than you? Wow. Just coming with the tough questions here. I don't know, man. Let me really think about this.
I'll wait.
I will give you that. You do the under the radar by yourself, and I've done some podcasts by myself, but like if I do a Black Power ranking, people notice it's only like maybe 8 to 10 minutes max. I'm not really a guy to carry the load by myself. I will give you that. Like I've done one bullet cast by myself when Brandon went away to on vacation, and it was a struggle, man. I struggled to hit that hour, but I did, So I will give you that, Brandon. You know
so
how
you're telling me I'm long-winded?
No. The other guy was very long-winded. That's why our shows used to be almost damn near 2 hours. But I'm saying, like, you can carry yourself on the stick by yourself for a significant amount of time. I like to play off others.
Go on.
What? What do you mean, go on?
I mean, he asked about, everything I do better than you, so,
That was it.
Oh, that's the only thing I do better than you.
That was it. As Goldberg spears the Fiend. You know, I mean, you've gone out recently and you've acquired some content for us, and I'm proud of you for that, man. You know,
I do my best.
I know you do. Oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was over for a second. I thought Goldberg beat the Fiend. And Brightest Day X's, we're gonna wrap up the fan mail here. Is this elimination chamber even necessary? When we all know Shayna is facing Becky at Mania. No, it is not. It is not necessary at all. Brandon, do you have any comments about that?
No, it is not.
There we go. What wrestling moment made you feel like a total mark? For me, it was Mark Henry's quote-unquote retirement speech. I actually teared up a little bit watching it, then felt like an idiot when he took out Cena. Bravo, Mr. Henry. Bravo. I don't I don't know. I mean, the Henry thing was absolutely amazing. Brandon, do you have a moment where you felt like a total mark?
I would say maybe the only time I felt like a complete mark would be when, I don't know what your definition of that would be, but it would probably be WrestleMania when Seth Rollins cashed and I just absolutely lost my mind.
I mean, I've had mark out moments like, oh, that was a terrible jackhammer, by the way.
It was better than the one he did to Jake. And Goldberg won. See, I told you, Phillip, Goldberg was going to win. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I'm doing my podcast. Calm down. Yeah. Goldberg is
nice of them to have the regular title along with the face title.
Goldberg is the new Universal Champion. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little shocked, dude.
I'm shocked they did it, but I'm not shocked that, I had a feeling they could have done, if you listen to my Under the Radar show, I did do a preview on Blood Money 5, and I said, it could happen, even though I think in the end picked Fiend, and here he is back up and gonna murder him.
Wait, what? I'm a little shocked, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what? I didn't think that was gonna happen. I really didn't. I thought he was just gonna kick out of the jackhammer because wait, what's happening? What's going on, Brandon? I'm scared.
Goldberg disappears.
Goldberg
disappears. Goldberg gets special powers.
No, he doesn't.
No, okay.
So mark out moment. I mean, Dolph Ziggler cashing in the Money in the Bank. That was my biggest mark out moment, I think. I mean, Kofi. I cried. I'm not gonna lie. I cried when he won the title. That's me being a mark, really buying into the product. Yeah, sure, we can do that. And last up, he said, I thought I tried telling you some of the things that bother me in the business. This week, I'll start with Ricochet's standing shooting star. If he runs up the dude before he hits it, is it really a standing shooting star? That bugs the hell out of me. If he runs up the guy, no, it's not. As we move on, let's go into AEW Dynamite recap. Kenny Omega defeats Pac in a very good 30-minute Iron Man match. They both scored 1-1 in the time frame, and then they went into sudden death overtime. Gave it a real sports-like feel. I've seen overtime sudden death in amateur wrestling matches, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. This was good. The only thing I will say nice about Kenny Omega.
I thought this match was absolutely fantastic. I had high expectations going in, and I think they met them. I was like, okay, they're going to have a draw. It makes sense. Kind of a crappy finish, but I get it. Don't want to have either one of them really do a job. But then in the end, they go to overtime, and Kenny gets the win, which I think if it was between these two and who should win, I think Kenny is the one to win. I think Kenny he is picking up a little bit of steam with his team with Hangman. And I think the crowd really was getting behind him. And this is kind of the way I thought you get Kenny reintroduced and have him be that top guy. In AEW, just have these fantastic standout matches, just like what happened in New Japan. And we don't exactly know what's going to happen at Revolution and what's going to happen with this tag team. But Kenny is definitely picking up steam as a singles competitor, and I'm excited to see that.
He is. He's starting to feel like the Kenny Omega of old, that really transcended New Japan for that 2-year period when he had his matches with Okada and Naito and Ishii and G1 climax matches with all those guys. So he's starting to get back to that Kenny Omega of old, and I do enjoy that. All right, the weigh-in. So Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley have a weigh-in leading up to their match at Revolution, and the Painmaker posse was in full effect.
Yes, it was.
overall thoughts on the weigh-in. Moxley weighs in, then Jericho, takes off the championship because, it's going to add a little bit more weight. He tells Kansas City that they suck. Moxley headbutts him. Jericho spewing out blood. And then Jericho gets an upper hand and hits the paradigm shift double arm DDT onto Moxley onto the scale.
As I said in the fan mail question, I enjoyed it. I thought it's something different compared to the contract signings, even though the end result is pretty much the same thing. I thought Chris Jericho is really good in his heel mannerisms. He comes out, he always gets the big pop, the crowd is singing a song, but then he's always able to get the crowd to turn on him. Yes, it's kind of cheap heat a little bit, but I think he does a good job, and at the end when he hits the DDT on the scale, I thought it was a fantastic way to have the show go off the air, have Moxley be in peril, Jericho stand tall, and overall I'm excited for this match. Maybe the build wasn't as good as Jericho and Cody, but I think this match was really good. And just a side note, I did like the little touch of having the banner of the pay-per-view, I don't know what you call it, the pay-per-view card logo thing with Moxley and Jericho up there in the rafters.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Khan, he's doing really good with approving a lot of this stuff, but I think what's really helping him is that wrestlers are basically running the company. He's the final say, and he does do with a lot of the business aspects, but as far as creative, wrestlers are running the company. I think that's where he's winning.
Winning?
Yes, like Charlie Sheen back in 2011. Alright, the Jurassic Express defeats the Inner Circle consisting of Santana Ortiz and Sammy Guevara.
I thought this was a good six-man tag match. I like the involvement with Darby Allin, continuing his feud with Sammy Guevara. Jungle Boy gets the win, so it's not just Luchasaurus getting all the shine here, so finally Jungle Boy gets some stuff here. And this also continues the feud with the Jurassic Express and Pride and Powerful, so maybe that's going to be a little mini feud going forward. So overall, I thought it was a good match, and a consistent theme on this show was a lot of good matches.
Yes. They've been doing very well the last couple of weeks. Best Friends, they have a good theme song, by the way. I'm not going to lie. I love it. Best Friends defeat the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny was there too. Orange Cassidy was there. He had a little interaction with the Bunny after earlier on in the night getting just forearmed by Pac after Pac takes an L to Kenny Omega in their Iron Man match. Thoughts on the Pac Orange Cassidy interaction and then the Best Friends going over the Butcher and the Blade?
Overall, I thought it was a good match. I really did enjoy the interaction between Bunny and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is just super over right now, and honestly, that Orange Cassidy's match against Pac is one of my most. I'm looking forward to that match, almost maybe more than any other matches, because I want to see what Cassidy and Pac can do. But overall, the match was good. I don't know what to read into this, because Butcher, Blade, they're a good tag team, but they just have been jobbed out a lot. They can always get back on the horse and have them be booked strong later on, but Best Friends is kind of a been there, done that team, kind of. I kind of know what I'm getting into. You have them, SCU, and the Young Bucks, which I think are kind of like all very similar in a way, and I don't know if the Young Bucks do end up winning. I don't know what the Best Friends were to do, but overall, good match, and we're going to have to wait and see what both these teams do. I think Butcher Blade are going to be kind of that lower level tag team that kind of is going to be the jobber, and the Best Friends are going to be kind of mid-card. We also have Dark Order being out there, and maybe the Exalted One, or whatever they're calling him, is going to be there, and we're going to see somebody. See, Phil, this is what you're talking about. I can be very long-winded and just go on and on and on, and that's how I can talk for an hour by myself.
Wow, man, maybe I need to pick up that trait, you know. All right, last up we have Hikaru Shida, Jesus, defeats Big Swole, Shana, and Yuka Sakazaki. This match happened. Nobody got hurt. That's all we can ask for. I'm stealing your line, yes.
Wow, gimmick infringement.
Hey-ho. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to blow right past that as I'm watching the 24 Doc and R-Truth's meeting Eazy-E and Tupac Shakur. Wow. Legendary. We are going to do previews for AEW Revolution. Should the broadcast title be on the line this weekend?
I mean, you're the host, you're the champion, you run everything, so it's all up to you, I guess. I'm at the mercy of you. If you want to be, running away with your title, not defending it all the time, it's whatever. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, well, that's
I,
not
I,
what
I should be
said.
champion because I did have a perfect prediction for Takeover, but it's whatever.
I was thinking, take over before WrestleMania. That's when we throw it on the line again. That's what I was thinking.
You're the Brock Lesnar of this podcast.
I'll take all the blood money. I will take it all and get paid very well for it. I'll do that. All right. So with that being said, it will not.
Somebody wrestling a paper bag behind you, Philip?
Somebody is wrestling a paper bag behind me. You're right. So here we go. With that being said, we have Pac going up against Orange Cassidy. I think Pac takes it home. Orange Cassidy will have a nice showing. He'll actually maybe do a little bit of wrestling, but I don't think he'll get the job done. And Pac, basically, he needs this.
I think Pac gets the job done as well. Get back on the horse. Orange Cassidy is going to actually try in this match. It's going to be fantastic because I've been telling you guys, if you haven't seen Orange Cassidy wrestle before, the man can wrestle when he wants to.
When he wants to. We have the Dark Order going up against SCU. I think the Dark Order does take this one home, and the Exalted One will make an appearance.
I'll go with the Dark Order as well. I think they're going to maybe tease that Christopher Daniels is involved with the Dark Order. I don't think we're going to get the Exalted One in true form to show up, but I think we might get like a shadow or like, a modulated voice and say that he's the Exalted One. Or maybe she's the Exalted One. Who knows? I'm not sexist on this podcast, Philip.
We're not sexist on this podcast, you're right. Alright, the AEW Tag Team Championships, Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page defend against the Young Bucks. The Bucks have taken quite a few L's. They did win that gauntlet match to get the number one contendership against their elite buddies. With what's going on with Hangman Page and his whole being drunk and stuff, maybe he's drunk as a skunk before the match and barely is able to compete and perform, or maybe it's just a straight up banger and the Young Bucks catch him slipping. And then that can lead into a feud between Hangman and Kenny Omega. I think I'll pick the Young Bucks to win the Tag Team Championships.
I really did enjoy the sit-down interview they did with Jim Ross on Dynamite. They are playing up still. Kenny and Hangman are not really getting together all that well, but in the end they get the job done. I think they get the job done again. I think they win. Maybe they turn heel. They didn't really hint that on Kenny Omega's side, but maybe they do something or another. But I think I'll go with Kenny and Hangman. I think they've really got something here. And the Bucks, yes, they've been losing a lot, but maybe this Kenny Omega Hangman story is bigger than them right now.
Oh, that's a possibility, man. Because I'm fantasy booking the damn territory here. Let's say the Bucks win the tag titles, and then Omega and Hangman have like a little beef or whatever. They're supposed to be introducing that singles title pretty soon. What if they feud over that?
They could feud over that. I think by the time we get to Double or Nothing, I think the title will be taken off of them, and I could see that being a match that happens between Omega and Hangman, or just maybe they turn heel, they kind of are together, but they go their separate ways and try to get some singles victories and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I'm very excited to see what they do with Hangman. He's catching fire as a babyface, even though the entire time I think they're trying to build him as a heel. I think in the sit-down interview with JR and the Bucks, he kind of was hinting more towards a heel turn, but I just don't know how the crowd is going to react if Hangman just straight up turns against the Bucks.
Who knows? I mean, when Hangman was going up against Jericho at All Out to become the first ever AEW champion, Hangman didn't really have a character. Now he's doing cowboy-ish. He has a character. He has a persona now, really, and he's making moves. And plus, like the Young Bucks said in that sit-down interview, he was a jobber in Ring of Honor before they took him under his wing and he became a part of the Elite and the Bullet Club. So it's very interesting to see what's actually going to happen with that. Moving on, we got the Big Hurt, Jake Hager, nobody else. He's going up against Dustin Rhodes. I got the Big Hurt beating the former Golden One. This
is the first match for Jake Hager in AEW. similar to what Wardlow did last week. I think Jake Hager will. I think he'll prove himself. I know we've seen him wrestle many times in WWE, but he hasn't wrestled or he hasn't been on TV in a while wrestling. He's doing the MMA, so maybe his body will be a little bit different. Maybe he'll incorporate that a little bit more. I do think he'll get the job done. I think Dustin can get him through and have a doable match.
Doable match. I don't know, man. Dustin's found the fountain of youth, man. He's really working at 50 years old. He's really getting it. He's keeping up with these new younger guys, and I like it. I can't wait to see it. Nyla Rose defends the AEW Women's Championship against Chris Statlander.
This one, I think it's kind of hard to pick. I don't know where they're going with the women's division. You have Hikaru Shida, who got the win on Dynamite. So I would assume Nyla gets the win, and they go to her in the next coming weeks as a title match. Chris Statlander is kind of the top babyface in the division right now. I don't know what they're going to do with Brandy, if she's going to be a wrestler or just Cody's wife. But overall, the match, hopefully it doesn't go that long and they don't get too ambitious with it. But it should be okay.
It should be okay. I have no idea at all whatsoever. What is... Jesus, somebody's emailing me. What is happening? Oh, Imperatus Day X. Why must Vince McMahon kill everything I love? Hashtag the Fiend. I'm sorry. I don't know why he did that.
All your loved ones die eventually.
That is very true. I do have Nyla Rose going over Chris Statlander. I don't like the alien thing. Before she started really doing this on TV, I was like, oh, she's cool, she's interesting. But now I'm just like, not a fan. Not a fan at all.
Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy, the love story we all need.
That's weird, but I'd be down for it. Cody Rhodes versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Their blood feud is going to unfold at Revolution. It's been a great build. 10 lashes to Cody. That was really hard to watch. Cody beating Wardlow in the steel cage, the first steel cage match in AEW's history. Cody breaking his toe in that match to get to MJF. I have Cody going over, man.
The crescendo of the build was last week, which I understand you had the crescendo for that feud last week, and then you have the Moxley-Jericho thing this week. But I just don't really feel like this feud is over. I think MJF gets the win here, by hook or by crook, and I think maybe the blow-off is at... I don't know if you want to build it all the way to Double or Nothing. I think you could do something like that to where MJF wins, and he's like, okay, you did all this stuff, and I still beat you, so I don't need to wrestle you again, ha ha ha, you suck, and I don't know, maybe Cody does something dastardly to MJF to kind of goat him in, but I think you get MJF to get the win here, just to have something for Cody to strive for, since he can't fight for the title.
That's true. Maybe these guys feud over the secondary title whenever that actually debuts. Alright, next up is the main event, Chris Jericho versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. Le Champion, he's really done a great job as the champion since he won it in August. But I have Jericho keeping it. I think he does drop it eventually, but I think he drops it at Double or Nothing too, which we will be in attendance for.
This one I'm not exactly sure about. Jon Moxley, I think he's super over. Maybe not as over as he could be, but I think he could and maybe should win the title from Jericho. I don't know. Double or Nothing, in our minds it's a very big event, but I think in AEW it's just going to kind of be another show. And maybe All In or whatever the Chicago show is in the fall is kind of their big show of the year, but I think you just put it on Moxley here. I don't know what their end goal is, but I think Jericho has done good, and I just looking at the roster, I don't know who else you can really have Jericho go up against, and it's going to make a lot of sense. I think with Moxley, you have some heels out there. Maybe MJF gets the win against Cody, MJF goes against Moxley, and you can do something like that. Lance Archer's out there, Brody Lee might be coming in, but I'm going to go with Moxley. Not very convinced with that, but that's the way I like it with these wrestling matches. You don't really know who's going to win, so it makes me more invested in more wanting to see what happens.
Hey man, I dig it. I understand. Alright, Superstar Spotlight. I will be giving mine in my recap that I am doing after AEW Revolution. I will be doing it with Jason from the Rudos podcast. We're doing we're doing a recap together, so that's going to be really cool. Watching the pay-per-view together, then talking about it immediately after. So that's going to be fun. Brandon, who's your superstar spotlight?
It's fine, Phillip. You know, you didn't. I didn't want to do one anyways, but it's fine. You can do it with him. It's cool.
I'm sorry.
You don't seem very sorry.
So, superstar spotlight, do you have one? Yes, no, maybe so.
I mean, I guess if I have to pick one in my emotional state, I will go with Orange Cassidy. I love him. I thought he had a fantastic stare down with Pac and with the Bunny. So Orange Cassidy just doing so much great stuff on Dynamite.
Absolutely. All right, our promo pick of the week, Brandon, take it away.
Well, I guess I have to continue to talk in my emotional state. We have, maybe the first time ever, a Smoky Mountain Wrestling promo from 1994. Yes, we have New Jack cutting a promo with Mustafa. We got the Gangstas in Smoky Mountain, and a very racially charged promo by New Jack talking about how he's beating up the white boy tag team. I can't exactly remember who they're facing at this point, but Smoky Mountain Wrestling has had a reputation for really going into that racial aspect of things, and that ended in a riot back in the day. So New Jack, we all know him from his crazy shoot interviews and his crazy matches that he had in ECW killing people, but the man can also talk, and I think you guys should check this out. It's on YouTube. If you just type up like New Jack Smoky Mountain Wrestling, it's one of the first things that pops up.
That's possibly true. You know, well, I think what I really liked about this promo was the OJ line where he said, "Good job, OJ," 2 down or something like that. I'm like, oh Jesus, he just really went for it. That's how I knew it was '94, because this was during the whole OJ Simpson trial and the Bronco chase and all that other stuff. But yeah, New Jack underrated on the microphone. I mean, we do know him for, I think his biggest moment is falling off of that platform in ECW and having his brain matter just spill all over the floor. I think that is what he's best known for. But New Jack, he's a crazy SOB, and yeah. Our closing match pick of the week is going to be Marty Scurll versus Kenny King from Bound by Honor 2018. This is a Ring of Honor event. Kenny King, very underrated in the ring. He was one of the prominent members of the TNA's X Division during the late 2000s and early part of the 2010s, and then he reemerged in their X Division when he was rolling with the Beatdown Clan, Low Key, MVP in 2016, 2015. That unbelievable aspect of his career. What are your thoughts on Marty Scurll versus Kenny King?
Really good match. Kenny King, I think, is underrated, and I know you know this, Phillip, but Kenny King was on The Bachelorette, and he was on Bachelor in Paradise. You know, 2 of my favorite shows of all time. Bachelor in Paradise, great show.
I knew he was on The Bachelorette. I watched one of his episodes. I'm like, hey, that's Kenny King. All right, shout out to the homie.
I can't wait for the end of The Bachelor, Phillip. There's only 3 girls left. What is Peter gonna do? I'm on the edge of my seat.
Brandon, to be honest with you, I don't watch that stuff. Wrestling is as much drama as I can take.
I mean, there was fantasy suites, and one of the girls was a virgin, and she said basically, if you bang any of these other girls, I'm not going to be with you. And then it's just so intriguing. It's so dramatic. I can't wait till Monday, Phillip.
I can't wait till Monday because of Monday Night Raw. Yes. No?
Oh, it was Monday Night Raw, right?
Oh.
In those fantasy suites.
Okay, alright. Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram The Bulletcast, YouTube channel The Bulletcast, email us Bulletcast2 as the number 2, sweetswet@gmail.com, 99.9 FM KW in Watsonville, every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Anchor, Spotify, Patreon, iHeartRadio. We're all over the place. No longer on SoundCloud. We got rid of them. We moved on to bigger and better things. I might be at Hood Slam tomorrow, so if you see me, come up, say hi. Don't be afraid. I don't bite. Not that much anyway. If I'm not angry, I don't know. We'll see.
Only if you want me to.
Oh, Jesus. No, I don't want you to do any of that. Brandon, tell the people what you're up to.
Well, Phillip, if you want to, I finally returned to Under the Radar last week, or yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't even know what day it was. But unfortunately, I previewed all these New Japan shows that didn't even happen. That aren't even going to happen because of the coronavirus. But I have a special announcement that I've been working on a story for my class, and it's also going to be published. And whenever that happens, I'll give you guys the link. But I interviewed Starboy Charlie, someone who we did a few months ago. Once again, Phillip only was able to get 5-10 minutes out of him, but your boy, being the long-winded man that I am, was able to get 20 minutes out of the young lad. And I've also interviewed some other local wrestling people here in the Bay Area related to Starboy Charlie and some other things as well. So the Starboy Charlie interview will be dropping tomorrow on Friday. Check that out, and maybe we'll make it a little series, and I'll be dropping the other episodes later on next week.
There you go, man. That's 3 from you. I have 3 coming up in the next coming weeks, and then we did Kelly earlier this year. That's 7 already. The goal is 20 for this year, and I think we are going to not only achieve but crush that goal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Brandon and I. Check out AEW Revolution, Le Champion versus Jon Moxley. It's going to be a great thing. All right, Brandon, I'll talk to you later.
No matter how hard I fall, I'll get back up on my feet. Red alert, this is gonna hurt when your face is in the
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.